welcome back to my channel. I'm Lauren and this is Wonderfully Made Baby. Today I'm going to share with you how to make one of my most popular baby mobiles titled Dreamy Dog. So this mobile requires 6 golden stars, which I'm looking here, it looks like I'm missing a gold star. So what I do is I buy these vinyl stars in bulk, and obviously they're one-sided. So I take a felt glue and let's see, this would take a long time to come out. Go ahead and just saturate the middle with glue. Obviously get the other side to it. Stack it. Everything's always harder when you're videotaping yourself do it. And then to kind of pinch it together, I just simply use a paper clip. All right, so we need 6 stars because I added an extra string. Originally it was just a 5-string mobile, but I thought I wanted to add more to it, so it's a 6-string mobile. We are also going to need 7 wool balls, and we are going to need 6 needle felted clouds, obviously a beechwood hoop. I don't know why I put this stuff so far from me. A hand-sewn crescent moon, and the icing on top. This particular mobile that was ordered included a black lab. How cute is that? So let's go ahead and get it hung. All right, so first off, I use an embroidery string. It comes in bulk like this, but you just want something strong. So I'm doing 6 strings. If you don't have a stand to hang your mobile on, I would recommend buying one of my baby mobile crib arms. You can attach it to your crib and then hang this. If you don't have a crib, it does snap on to like any, gosh, even a drawer. You can open the drawer and pop the crib arm in. Let me just show you what that looks like, because you probably don't have one of these stands. Okay, so I sell these beechwood crib arms. This is missing the knob right now, but let's see, it's stuck in the string. You can just stick it in your drawer, nice and tight, and then pop it like that. So if you want, I'll go ahead and hang the mobile on this so you can kind of see what it'd be like if you bought the whole kit. So in my Etsy shop, I do sell wood arches. This is a hoop, but you could get the arches in my Etsy shop along with the crib arm. And then you've got a whole setup for making baby mobiles. So there's 2 strings, and then we've got 4, and then we'll make it 6. All right, 6 strings. We want to put a little hoop here, a loop, so that when you hang your baby mobile, it can fit onto a crib arm, or some people like to hang their baby mobiles from a ceiling hook. My husband doesn't like when I put unnecessary holes in our drywall and walls. Like for example, the walls in this house, they have a texture called orange peel. So if I were to pop in a nail or a hole and then decide I don't want it there later, he literally has to patch it and then retexturize it and then repaint it. So I wouldn't personally hang my baby mobile from a ceiling hook and string, but people do. All right, this part is gonna get really boring. I'm basically gonna be needling needles and then popping in, so let's just skip to that part. Okay, the most frustrating part is done. I was able to get my string through the wool ball, grab the sides, bring it up to the top. Now, I do 2 more knots. Now, another hard part in making baby mobiles is getting this perfectly balanced. So, I have actually reached over 4,000 sales in my Etsy shop. Now, it is a mixture of print-on-demand items like baby blankets, baby swaddles, baby onesies. I've also created a lot of digital art, like watercolor illustrations I've done, so those are downloads. I've also sold a lot of my patterns. But like my breadwinner is obviously my high-end products, which are my handmade baby mobiles. And I have honestly done, out of 4,000, I don't know, I would say I've at least done about, it's hard to say, but I'd say at least 2,000 baby mobiles. 2,000 at least that I have myself. In the beginning, I was hand sewing everything by myself. I had to hire help, obviously, which I was reluctant to do because, you know, when you start a business, it's always so scary to like actually hire people. Now you have to put a lot of trust into them completing, I mean, essentially artwork on the same level as yourself. So when I was first going through my hiring process, I had to test quite a few different people to see who actually created art similar to my style. And thank God I found a few people who are just so reliable and are very great artists. So like I said, this here is the part that takes the longest. If I could outsource this part, oh my goodness, I would. But again, I require perfection. And outsourcing something like this, I feel like they would really not do a good job. So I double knot everything again 2 more times. Because I'm a mom of 4, and my first 2 kids, a baby mobile never even crossed my mind. My husband and I were just like kind of beach bum hippie people, and buying, in my mind at that time, unnecessary things never crossed my mind. They didn't have baby mobiles. But by my 3rd son, I had more money to spend, and I was able to actually like fully get into nesting and decorating, and that's when I got exposed to baby mobiles. That's when I became obsessed, and that's when I started making them. And point I was trying to make is, once they're like crawling and standing and they can reach the mobile, they will yank on it like crazy. So I always make sure this part is super, super tight. All right, that is good enough. Now here's my needle again. It always grosses me out to think that someone is like biting the tip of the thread, but this is such a long string, I'm gonna cut that part off. All right, so I like to start with a star. Whoa, this one's still wet. Let me get a different one. Hold on a sec. All right, I got a dry one. So get it right in between the 2 pieces that I glued together. Here's a little tip on handmade art. It's not that glamorous. It truly is a lot of labor of love. But like I always tell my husband, I would much rather be working this labor of love while still being a stay-at-home mom and still being able to care for my 4 little children here at home. They are homeschooled, so and they require a lot of supervision, so that's why I'm here and I get to do this. My kids are watching a documentary on raising parrots right now, so that's what that squawking is. I had to take a quick break here because I noticed all my beautiful little butterflies that I have in my cherry blossom flowers were all knocked down. So my kids are always playing hockey in our living room here. I leave it unfurnished so that they could just roughhouse. And this is my home office space. So I use a lot of this. So I make stuff here, I pack stuff on the shelving, and then obviously back behind me, the kids can be crazy and roughhouse. So back to the mobile. Where did we leave off? Okay, so I got the star, and he's knotted in, and I got the last little wool ball here. So I was gonna say, when I first started my Etsy shop, I hate to admit this, but it's just the truth, when I was getting inspired just straight up and honestly from other Etsy sellers. My husband gave me money as a housewife, but it wasn't like I took advantage of his generosity and just like splurged and bought stuff. And I've always been an artist, I've always been crafty, so when I saw things that I fell in love with, I was like, I can try to make that on my own. So some of my first mobiles were like I was really into dragons 4 years ago. I did dragons like crazy, and then my husband was like, I want the baby nursery theme to be like Noah's Ark. And so every time my husband wants something, I'm just like, I don't know, I want to make him happy. So I started doing a lot of Noah's Ark baby mobiles. I don't know, and then it just slowly started changing. Like I got into dogs, and once I started making dog mobiles, that's when my Etsy shop just like, it just totally blew up. And I wasn't even looking for a trend. I wasn't looking for a way to like create a full-time job for myself, because I never needed a job. And I think that's something my husband used to get. I had mentioned in another video before that my mom was trying to pressure me into getting into an MLM business. She was selling shampoo and air conditioner, and so obviously she wanted me to get under her triangle so she can get boosted, and I genuinely wanted to help her. So I joined her MLM, and I figured I'm going to show her how to be successful, and I'm going to give this 1,010%. And I'm so embarrassed to go look back and see how freaking hard I tried to sell the shampoo and hair conditioner. Now don't get me wrong, I just cut 9 inches off, but I've always had really long, thick, shiny, healthy hair. So I think when I went to go to the market and try to sell shampoo and conditioner to my friends and family, they're probably like, you don't even have hair issues, and it didn't work. And for 6 months, I like gave it my all, and my husband's like, Lauren, no one's gonna take you serious because you don't really have a why. Like, you don't need to sell this product, so you're not gonna get like nitty gritty and hustle and hit the pavement and knock on doors and get that product sold, which is true. I've been a blessed housewife. But I love that now I can make my own money, and I can just kind of like reach even farther with things. Like I fell in love with this painting, and back on my husband's dollar, I don't think he would have spent the money just to buy me this painting just because I wanted it. So since I make my own money, I bought it. This vase, I mean, if I was shopping with him and said I wanted this vase at the price that I paid for it, he'd probably talk me out of it because it's not like essential, or even the cherry blossoms. So finding my own income has been like, I don't know, it's been like liberating in like a whole different way. All right, so now we need another ball and a moon. So it's just a crazy topic. I think talking finances, it's like a big no-no, and people can get like, I don't know if it's egotistical or just private. I've never had a problem talking about things that other people don't want to talk about. So like when I would complain to my sister saying, I live such a basic and humble life, she's like, you drive a brand new car, you live in a nice house, it's fully remodeled, like you have food in the fridge, like what more could you want? And I am quite humble, but I don't know. You can always want a little something more, right? If you want to give someone a bigger tip at a restaurant, it's nice. Or there's someone on the street asking for change, to like throw them a 20 just because you can. Those are things I like. Or when your kid wants to really get into hockey, for example. 2 of my kids play hockey. It's very expensive, and a lot of hockey kids are incredible, and they get a lot of extra ice time and a lot of extra training, and that costs a lot of money. So if I were to think about my why today, why do I work? I really want to say it's because all of the above, but mostly it's because I have 4 sons, but the 2 that are old enough to play hockey right now, this is crazy. And I know it's, it might not happen, but it could happen though, you never know. They want to join NHL. They want to be like professional hockey players. And in order to get there, they're going to need training, lots of ice time. And I mean, they're passionate. They put in the work every day. So yeah. All right. So Dreamy Dog's almost done. What I want to say about this baby mobile is I don't sell this hoop, but I do have arches. I don't sell these needle felted clouds. There are Etsy sellers that sell these. I don't sell these vinyl stars, but you can source something similar. What I do have though is the pattern for this in my Etsy shop. You can buy just the dog. I think it's like less than $5, or you can buy my entire book, which has 23 different animals, all incredibly easy. So here's Dreamy Dog. It's almost done. The next video, I might do a pack with me to kind of show you like all the baby mobiles that sold and the ones that were finished and able to pack, because even though I sell all these things, I still have to spend the day to actually make them. And that's the little secret about handmade art. It's not just like a quick drop ship. It's not like I could just source something already made. I have to design this and then make it and then source parts and then hang it. So that was today's video on Dreamy Dog. The next video, I'll probably do pack orders with me. Yeah, so if you're interested in a handmade business and kind of seeing behind the scenes on what's involved, I'm gonna start sharing more like what sold, how much money was made, profits versus like gross versus net. Yeah, those types of things. So thanks for watching. See you guys.